Sunday afternoon, and we got some heat on the hot stove. Corey Kluber has been traded. It has finally happened. It feels like we've been hearing about Corey Kluber trade rumors for the past two off seasons, but this year is finally the season he gets traded, and he gets traded to the Texas Rangers for little to nothing, in my opinion. Like, what are you doing, Cleveland Indians? What are you doing? I don't have a problem with trading Corey Kluber if you get the right pieces back. Problem is, they're not getting the right pieces back. We'll go over that trade today. I'll go over the Yoenis Cespedes move that happened because Cespedes is now getting a lesser contract than what we once thought. The Rangers got starting pitcher Jordan Lyles a few days ago, so I'll talk about that as well in the video. And anything else that's gone on in Major League Baseball, I'll make sure to mention it. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on it. That's the best way to show your support. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you love baseball, click that sub button, join the team. Today will be the first of two uploads. You're getting my rankings video later on in the day. Of course, 12 days of rankings. Remember to get in the comment section down below. Give me your thoughts and opinions on the Kluber trade and anything else going on around baseball. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. I'm always talking baseball over there. That's my immediate reaction stuff. So let's talk about this Corey Kluber trade because, like, oh my god, Cleveland Indian fans, I'll feel for you. As a Mets fan, I like to complain a lot. We know that. I don't like what the Mets necessarily do all the time in the offseason. I don't like how they spend their money. But hey, at least we're not the Cleveland Indians because, oh my goodness, I would hate to be a fan of that team right now. Forget the fact that they just traded Corey Kluber for essentially nothing, which again, I'll go over the details. But they might be trading Francisco Lindor. They could be getting rid of maybe a couple other guys. Like, this team is just like, it's a mess. They refuse to try to get better. They would rather get worse to try to get better later on than try to get better now and try and win right now. I'm not a fan of it. You guys know I'm never a fan of really rebuilding unless you are truly terrible. Like, oh wow, the Orioles are bad, they have to rebuild. The Indians were one game away from winning the World Series back in 2016, and the few seasons after that, they made the playoffs. They were a few pieces away from being a top team in the American League. Last year, they missed out on the playoffs, and they're gonna be getting worse this year, it seems like. So it's very frustrating if you're an Indians fan. Thank God I'm not, though. I'm happy I'm not a fan of them, because boy, would I be upset with what we just got back for Corey Kluber. So Corey Kluber is going to the Texas Rangers, and what the Indians are getting back is truly shocking. They're getting back a relief pitcher by the name of Emmanuel Clase, and I guess the kind of big piece in this deal, maybe Clase is, but the name that you probably know more is Delino Deshields Jr. Yes, the Cleveland Indians have traded Corey Kluber, multiple Cy Young Award winner, when healthy, one of the better pitchers in the game, for Emmanuel Clase, who's a relief pitching prospect, had some time in the majors last year, I'll go over him, and Delino Deshields Jr. Now, apparently, there's another player or two that might be still involved in this trade, but it's taking forever to come out, and I just don't feel like waiting anymore, because unless it's like Joey Gallo, it still just isn't the right haul back for me. Like, the Rangers aren't giving up Josh Young or Josh Jung, I don't know how to pronounce his last name necessarily, but they just drafted him in the first round from Texas Tech. He's not being traded. That'd be one of the guys I would want, I'd be excited about. Even to go as low as their number 4 prospect in their system, Cole Winn, like, I don't think they're getting Cole Winn either. Anybody outside of that, like, I'm not crazy about. This seems like a crazy trade for me. So let's start off by talking about the Rangers, because if you're a Rangers fan, you should be ecstatic. You just got Corey Kluber, who is a fantastic pitcher in Major League Baseball. Yes, he's coming off a big injury in 2019 where he missed most of the season, but it's not like he got Tommy John. It's not like he got rotator cuff surgery. He had oblique issues, and he broke his arm getting hit by a line drive. So there's no reason why, at age 34, Corey Kluber can't come back in 2020 and be a really good pitcher. He's shown in the past, he hasn't really shown many signs of slowing down. Like 2018, he finished 3rd in the Cy Young voting. He still has a lot left in the tank. This guy is a phenomenal pitcher. You now add Corey Kluber to a rotation with Mike Minor, with Lance Lynn, with Jordan Lyles, with Kyle Gibson. It's definitely not one of the best rotations in baseball, but compared to what the Rangers had in 2019, it is miles better. Mike Minor had a nice season last year, finished with 200 strikeouts, had a really good year. People wanted to trade for him at the deadline. He was a hot piece. Lance Lynn had a really nice year, finally went back to his old form that you once saw with the Cardinals, had a really solid season for Texas. Like, those two guys held it down for them. It was just the rest of that rotation was absolutely horrible. Now, Jordan Lyles and Kyle Gibson are not going to be guys who are earth-shattering, but as 4 and 5s in a rotation, they are very solid. They can be very consistent, and you get Corey Kluber, who can now be that number 1 guy, who can now be that ace. It's a really good pickup. Let me give you Kluber stats from like the last 3 years. Since 2017, he's appeared in 69 games, nice. 40-14 record with a 2.83 ERA, a whip under 1 at .988, struck out 525 batters in 454 innings, walking only 85, giving up 50 homers, a K per 9 of 10.4, walk per 9 of 1.7, home runs at 1, and hits per 9 at 7.2. Those are filthy numbers. The guy is still a very good pitcher, and you pretty much traded peanuts for him. You gave up nothing. Delino Deshields and Emmanuel Clase, you're not gonna miss him when you got Corey Kluber. I just like, I can't wrap my head around how good of a trade this was for the Rangers. This was a no-brainer that they had to make. Oh yeah, and the Rangers have a team option for Corey Kluber for 2021 that's only worth $18 million. Are you kidding me? That's a great deal. This is a huge move. This definitely shakes up the American League West a little bit. They're not the favorite to win it, and I don't even know if they're a favorite to make a wild card just yet. They still have a lot more issues to address, but they are making their team stronger and stronger as the offseason goes on. Corey Kluber was a fantastic pickup. I love it. They went out and got him, and they gave up nothing. They gave up nothing. You know my theory. I'm always trading prospects and guys to get bona fide stars. Corey Kluber is a bona fide star. The Rangers are going for it. I love it. That's exactly what I want to see from teams. Because then you have the Cleveland Indians, who seem to be in the exact opposite direction. They're a team that could be a contender, that with one or two more pieces could be one of the better teams in the American League. Whereas the Rangers were not a contender last year. They were on the outside looking in, and they said, we want to get better. We're going to go get guys right now to make our team improve, and they're doing that. I love that. I love when teams go out and try to get better. Where the Indians are going, let's rebuild basically. Let's try and get guys to make our team better years from now instead of right now. Which for some teams, as I stated earlier, can make sense. Like the Orioles, yes, you rebuild. The Blue Jays, they're rebuilding. But the Indians were not really in a place where they had to rebuild. They're choosing to rebuild. And I know that the money saved on Corey Kluber is going to be probably right around like $36 million. That money hypothetically could go towards giving Lindor more money in an extension. But do you think $36 million is the difference between the Indians keeping Lindor and getting rid of him? Because you are badly mistaken. Lindor is going to be making $300 million plus. The Indians are not going to be spending that unless they plan to trade everybody else off this team. In their mind, they're not going to have the budget to be able to give Francisco Lindor that kind of contract. In fact, I feel almost like this Corey Kluber trade means that Lindor is definitely on his way out, that they're going to be trying to get even more back and hope that they can get some nice young pieces that can make an impact in the next couple seasons. Like if that Dodgers trade with Verdugo and Lux and Dustin May is true, they need to pull the trigger on that. That's the best one they're going to get. But to talk about what they got back from the Rangers, because that's what really guys wanted to hear, it's just like not good. Let's start off by talking about Delino Deshields Jr., which is like, really? That's one of the names in the trades, Delino Deshields Jr. Goodness, he's like not even the starting center fielder for the Rangers. So Delino Deshields Jr. has pretty much been getting regular playing time in Major League Baseball since 2015, and his numbers just aren't very good. In his 5 years in Major League Baseball, he has 18 homers, 73 doubles, 17 triples, and 126 RBIs, stealing 106 bases. Now to play devil's advocate, he's not much of a power guy. He is going to be a speed guy who's got a decent glove in the outfield. Really not going to hit extra base hits. That's not how he plays. So surely you think, oh, he walks a lot, right? He steals a lot of bases. Not really. A 246 batting average with a 326 on base, 342 slugging gives him a 668 OPS, an OPS plus for his career of 76. So you are getting, without a doubt, a below average hitter in Delino Deshields. Like the guy is just not good at the plate. The positive is that he's only 27 years old, so obviously there's still time for his game to improve. But I don't know how much better it's really gonna get. I don't see him becoming all of a sudden this all-star center fielder or an all-star outfielder or all-star second baseman. His value is his speed, and he doesn't walk, and he doesn't really get that many hits. Like he's not a high average guy or a high on base guy, so I don't see the whole like attraction to trading for Delino Deshields Jr. when you had Corey Kluber. I'm just not sold on this. Like you traded for a guy who's just definitely without a doubt below average in Major League Baseball. And then this Emmanuel Clase guy was their number 30 prospect in the organization for the Texas Rangers. He's a relief pitcher. He throws absolute gas. The dude has a crazy good arm, but he's a relief pitcher. And it's not like he's Edwin Diaz like, where I know Edwin Diaz had a bad 2019, but at least years prior he was lights out, considered as one of the better relievers in the game. Emmanuel Clase only pitched in 21 innings last year, and I don't think that he has the stuff to necessarily be one of the best relievers in the game. He has a problem with throwing a little bit too many strikes almost. Like he needs to throw a little more balls. But he was pretty decent in the 21 innings he pitched last year. 2.31 ERA in 23.1 innings, 21 strikeouts to 6 walks. That's nice, only giving up 2 home runs. A whip at 1.114, 8.1 strikeouts per 9, 2.3 walks, 0.8 home runs, and 7.7 hits per 9. So he definitely has some value, but I don't know if this guy ever projects to be one of the best closers in the game, one of the best relievers. And I cannot justify trading Corey Kluber for Delino Deshields and a reliever who could be like a setup guy. You could have gone out and signed guys for cheap. There's guys on the free agent market right now who I feel like could make the same kind of impact. So I don't know. Call me crazy, but I don't like this trade at all for the Indians. If I'm an Indians fan, I am not going to end games next year, especially if we trade Francisco Lindor. Like, I'm big time boycotting that team. They don't deserve your money. They don't deserve your fandom. They don't deserve your respect. They're doing nothing for you as a fan right now, besides saying, we had a chance to win. We didn't really want to do it. We didn't want to spend the money, but still come to our games. Like, still give us money, even though we don't want to spend the money that you're giving us. I would be upset if I'm an Indians fan. The stuff that you got back here just isn't enough. And like I said, you're not getting Josh Young back. You're not getting Cole Winn probably back either. Those are like 1 through 4 in the Rangers organization. What would they need to get back to make this deal worth it? I don't know. It's just like, it really is a baffling trade for me. And go figure, I talked about a Rangers-Indians trade for longer than I've talked about some of the Mets moves, but this one just like, it got me feeling passionate because if I was a fan of the Indians, this is the kind of stuff that would drive me insane game. Now to talk about the Mets news with Yoenis Cespedes. I didn't make a full video on it because there's just not a whole lot to talk about here. Here's the breakdown. It's going to be very quick, very simple. Yoenis Cespedes gets paid about $29 million a year by the New York Mets. Last year, he didn't play at all. He was supposed to come back. Ended up getting this mysterious injury on his ranch where he destroyed his ankles, needed surgery, ended the season, and it just didn't feel right. Felt a little sketchy. Maybe he fell off a horse, didn't step in a hole like he said. They ended up filing a grievance. Didn't really work out for Cespedes that well in 2019. 2020, they planned on doing it again in Yoenis Cespedes and then basically came to an agreement to lower his contract and to have incentives in it. So the numbers for his new contract haven't officially come out, but it's estimated that the Mets are going to shed about $15 million off Yoenis Cespedes' contract in 2020, making him around $15 million guaranteed. And then through incentives, which of course he would have to play to earn, he can get back to where his contract originally was. So for me as a Mets fan, I love it because we just saved some money, and as we know, the Mets are penny pinchers. They don't want to spend money if they don't have to. That allows us to maybe go out and get another reliever, help the bullpen out. Plus, if Cespedes comes back, which I hope he does, when he's healthy, he is a beast. He makes that lineup infinitely better. He has a chance to earn that money back, and there's no better way to motivate someone than with money. In my head, I still have it under the assumption that he's not going to play at all in 2020. That's the way I set it up so that I'm not set up for failure or disappointment. But if he comes back in 2020, I'm going to be very excited when this guy has been healthy with the Mets. Like I said, he's been crazy good. He's been so valuable. But all you need to know is that the Mets are saving money on the Cespedes contract. He has a chance to make it all back if he plays some games. So I'm going to check Twitter real quick, make sure I'm not missing anything. And upon further review, it doesn't look like I did. So that's where we're going to end the video today. I would love to know what you guys think about the Kluber trade. Anything that we talked about down in the comment section below. Give me your thoughts and opinions. Remember to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. That's the best way to show your support. As well as subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the content. We got double upload season today. You've got more rankings coming at you later for the 12 days of MLB rankings. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links are in the description. And I'm going to end it right there. You know the drill. YouTube recommends you watch this video right here, as well as this is my most recent upload. So click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll catch you guys all later for another upload. Bye.